Hello folks, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to draw a Thooli art, which is also a style of Indian pen art, also known as line art, often featuring black and white imagery with intricate details and focus on lines. So with this, I'm going to make some crazy Reddit stories. So are you ready for that? If yes, then sit back, relax and enjoy. So the story goes, I was in my basement doing some work on my computer when I heard a faint tapping sound coming from the wall. It was rhythmic, almost musical tapping, and it was coming from the wall opposite to the door. I paused my work and listened, but I couldn't discern any pattern or source. I figured it was probably just some creaking or settling of the house, so I went back to my work. After a few minutes, the tapping stopped and I was relieved. But then, just as suddenly it started again. Only this time it was louder and more intense, so I stood up and walked over to the wall, my heart pounding in my chest. I put my ear against the wall and I could hear the tapping clearly. It was coming from inside the wall and it sounded like someone was tapping with their fingers. Just as I was about to reach out and try to open the wall, I heard a voice whisper my name. It was a soft, almost eternal voice, and it sounded like it was coming from inside the wall. I froze, my eyes wide with fear. I turned around to see if anyone was in the room, but I was alone. The voice whispered my name again, and then the room started to fill with a strange cold light. It was a pale, almost white light, and it seemed to emanate from the wall. I tried to scream, but no sound came out. My body was paralyzed with fear, and I couldn't move. The light grew brighter, and the cold became more intense. I could feel the air around me growing thin, and I felt like I was about to suffocate. Then just as suddenly as it started, the light and the cold vanished, and the room was plunged into darkness. The tapping had stopped and the voice was gone. I was left alone in the dark, trembling with fear. I didn't know what had happened, but I knew that I never wanted to experience anything like that again. I slowly walked out of the basement and went upstairs and didn't go back down there for weeks. When I finally did, I went back to the wall and put my ear against it. I could hear nothing. The wall was silent, and it was as if nothing had ever happened. But I knew that it had. I knew that something had been in that wall, and that something had whispered my name. And I knew that I would never forget that night. Ever. And with that was our first story, so feel free to comment down below whether you like it or not. Let's head over to our second story in the list. The story originated from Reddit. It basically describes how a Redditor lived an imaginary life which in his perspective lasted for 10 long years. But really, what happened was he was in an accident and had a brain injury, and his brain conjured up all this up in few seconds of time. So in this parallel life, he was sitting in a living room and he noticed that the lamp was not following any of the rules of this universe. Like for instance, it was glitching, changing in sizes, etc., etc. He started at it, his wife, whom he had imagined up, was worried and took their children, again not in the real sense, and left him alone. He just kept staring at the lamp till he understood that the lamp was not real and everything came crashing down. He woke up in the pavement where he was thrown onto after the accident, seconds after it just happened. So crazy, right? That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more such stories like this in the future. So be sure to subscribe and please share it with your friends, everyone. Thank you. Now just enjoy my art.